if you are a winner. Now, I got more to read. We're also giving away our very last Fringe prize pack, which includes 2 passes to see any Fringe show you want Monday, July 19th, 2 Fringe T-shirts, a Fringe program, and a Fringe poster signed by yours truly and Jimmy Mack. Now, call 777 to win. If you're caller number 10, you win it. Leave your name and daytime phone number, and we'll call you if you're the winner. There we go. Zippity-doo-dah-day. We are taking a break, and guess what's happening after that? That's right, our musical guest, Yankee. Don't go away. Now, I'm so excited. We love having her on the show. She brought the whole band this time. Sit back and enjoy Yankee. Kat and the gang. Hello, Kat.
Hey, Don, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Very good to see you.
Do you know what? Nice little sideline. Guess whose birthday it is tomorrow. There we go. Happy conjoined birthday.
Yes, you too,
Thank
man.
you. Hey, introduce the gang to us. I recognize a whole swag of them from other appearances on the show.
This is Patrick Farf over here on bass, Mike Shawcross on drums, And Mike Webster over here on lead.
Nice to see you. Green Lantern. Good choice in shirt. Wonderful. So tell us what's going on in the life of Cat Yankee. You're busy, busy, busy.
I am busy indeed. Tomorrow I'll be playing at the Fringe Festival with these guys.
Okay.
At Old Market Square at 6:45.
6:45.
And then I'm heading off to Saskatoon to do the Fringe Festival there, and I'll be playing at the Beer Gardens.
There, good
Am I allowed
choice.
to say beer on
You can say beer. We can say it on the show. Johnny's having one right now. It's amazing how that works. No, he's not. Not before 8.
Right.
Well, that's great, doing the Fringe circuit a little bit. And you were telling me off camera a bit that we are eagerly anticipating the next CD.
The CD, indeed. The recording will be underway very, very shortly.
Okay.
So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We'll find it.
Well, I'm sure we'll be all over that on the Big Breakfast
All right.
Brothers. And CatYankee.com, of course, they can log on and find out
Yes, indeed.
all about you. All right, we'll find out more about that a little bit later, and
Cool.
Cat a little bit later as well.
Awesome.
All right, thank you very much, Cat and
Thanks,
company. Wonderful. We are going to take a bit of a break. We're going to come back with Jimmy Nash. For the second time today, please sit back and enjoy Cat Yankee. There we go once again, Cat Yankee.
Yeah.
Hello. Great job, guys. Super job. Wonderful
Thanks.
indeed. Now, you know what we're going to do? We're going to let the people know where they can catch you live because
Alright.
you've got a couple of great shows coming up.
Yes, I will be playing at the Fringe tomorrow at Old Market Square at 6:45
Okay.
with the boys. And then I'm going to be heading off to Saskatoon for the Fringe there, and I'll be playing on August 6th at the Beer Gardens there.
Okay, perfect. And, of course, we have viewers out there in Saskatoon and around that area, of course.
Nice.
Well, we know we're on that fancy schmancy satellite
Well,
system.
now, hello.
Huh? Stepping up. Anyways, CatYankee.com,
Oh, there.
what can people find out about you?
Well, actually, the website is going to be updated right away, too.
Okay.
So that should happen in the next month or so. But
Okay.
right now, there's still stuff up there. There's some videos, some pictures, you know, information about me and
All
you
that
know,
other neat
all that other neat
stuff.
stuff.
All right, listen, of course, we're all eagerly awaiting your new CD, which should be out somewhere in the near future, near to distant
Fall.
future.
Fall.
In the fall.
Yes,
Great, so we're
indeed.
definitely going to be able to have you back with that as well. But later on, we might be giving away a couple of your lucky viewers this morning. Later on.
Yes, I
Later
think
on.
so.
Stay
Yes, I
tuned.
know.
All right, thank you very much, Kat. We'll hear from her one more time today. But right now, we're going to hear from this guy, Mr. Mac.
Hello.
Well, hello. We're going to tell you who won the coffee club right now, so if you send in a picture, well, you might be the winner. Now, Kat and Grace have graced the stage. Now, Kat, why'd you pick this individual who's going to be happy as all get out that picture is on TV?
I thought it was the kind of picture that you can't really stage.
No.
It looks like somebody was just being mean that morning and took a picture of her when she really wasn't ready for
You
it.
know what? I would have loved to see the next picture once she saw the flash. And yeah, exactly. Let's find out what this lovely woman brushing her teeth has won.
Big breakfast coffee, oh man, now I screwed up.
Big breakfast coffee mug.
Big breakfast coffee mug.
And Grace, what else did they win?
The Big Breakfast Travel Mug.
That's right. Courtesy of our friends at Maxwell House. Good to win the stuff. Okay, that is. Anyways, we're taking a break. Coming back with the Fringe Festival. Unbelievable Cat Yankee, and she's going to play us out right now. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.
I recognize the way your eyes are staring into space, and all the while that stupid smile is lighting up your face. It's hard to miss the happiness you're spilling all over the place, and how I resent that you're so content to be free from my embrace. Oh, you just can't deny that look in your eyes, love and it's here to stay. Don't dare lie, just confess so that I can pack my bag and be on my way. I fussed and prayed about the day you go and buy a ring. When you change your life by choosing a wife and giving her everything. When you shed a tear and say, my dear, and get down on one knee. But in my imagination, you were...
Jusqu'au 20 août.
The other day I'm fishing.
Et n'oubliez pas que la dernière fin de semaine du Festival Fringe. Venez voir du théâtre expérimental, classique, comique et tragique. Ou amusez-vous en plein air. Il y en a pour tous les goûts. Bon week-end!
Scary about the turnout of this year's Night of the Living Fringe. So far, attendance is up at the festival, which still has another 6 days to go. And its opening week, the festival has outstaged last year's financial performance, up some $16,000. Frequent Fringer and Buddy Passes are already sold out, but that doesn't mean curtains are down on those of you who didn't get in on the early deal.
The Frequent Fringer and the Buddy Pass are certificates that don't guarantee them seats. So they're going to be lining up at the doors, so get your advance tickets or line up at the doors. 50% of the tickets are available at the doors every night.
Advance tickets are available a day before showtime over the phone. To get your hands on those, call 94-FRINGE, that's 7463.
Trevor Boris is back at the Fringe with more news, more reviews, and the show of one of the the star of one of the hottest shows in town. There is nothing frightening about attendance numbers for the Night of the Living Fringe. Organizers say more than 25,000 people have attended so far, and that is 1,000 more theater goers than the festival saw last year at the halfway mark. Well, what makes this festival so popular? Our arts reporter Barbara Brunzell is out at Old Market Square looking for the answer. Barb, do you have it?
Well, you know, I've been asking myself that same question all weekend long. I came out here on Saturday with a list of 6 plays that I wanted to see, and the lineups were so long that I actually only got to see 3 of them. Now, there's many reasons why the festival is doing so well. It added an extra day last year, it added a venue this year, but the real reason is the caliber of talent. And it is so good that one of the performers has actually made it the focus of his show. Late Night at the Fringe with Trevor Boris is this festival's very first talk show. Boris banters with his guests. He shows parts of their performances, as well as does stand-up himself. So let's take a little look at what this Selkirk farmer turned comedian has to offer.
So I was talking to my dad today. My dad, he's one of those guys, he'll go to a garage sale and he'll buy anything as long as he thinks he's getting a deal. You know people like this? He once bought a stack of 100 postcards from this place called Kekabeka Falls, Ontario, just because they were only $1. He was like, well, if I ever go there, I'm set. I was like, Dad, you know 4 people, and if you ever go there, we'll probably all be in the car with you. But my favorite one, he once went to a garage sale and he drove home in an electric golf cart that he had bought. Of course, he never played golf, right? And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He was like, well, I got a great deal on it. So I was like, well, what on earth are you going to do with a golf cart? You don't even golf. And I swear to God, he said, well, I was thinking I would ride it in parades.
And with me now is the man of late night himself, Trevor Boris. Welcome.
How you doing?
So tell me, what has this experience been like?
I'm having the time of my life. I could do this show every night for the rest of my life, especially because I get to do my own show without having to fill an hour myself, so that's fun.
Now, I know that you've been very busy lately. You've done gigs at Yuck Yuck. You've been hosting at the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. You write for a TV show, a dating TV show. But this is a new genre for you, so you just tell me, do you have any kind of bloopers you want to share?
Yeah, well, anything can happen on this show, which is kind of great. Like, on Friday, I had my cousin Angela Chalmers from a show called More on, and her partner, Michelle, was talking about how she loves to do high kicks. So we set it up where we put a blindfold on my cousin and a glass on her head, and Michelle kicked it off her head, and it was great. We hadn't rehearsed it, and I was an idiot, and I was like, I want to try, and I ended up kicking her in the face. So I knocked down my cousin, which was horrible, but it was funny.
And now no one will go on your show.
And no one wants to come on my show. No, I promise, no more kicking of guests. So.
No, the bit that we did see earlier, actually, you taped yourself. So can you tell me, why are you documenting all these magic moments?
Well, I'm actually in development right now for my own talk show with Pride Vision TV out in Toronto. So this is kind of almost the pilot for it. So.
Now, I hear, though, that people may not have too many chances past tonight to see it. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, well, I have a show tonight at 10:30, but after that, I go to Montreal to do the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival tomorrow. And depending on how I do have 2 shows, Friday and Saturday. They're going to happen for sure. But depending on how I do, I might not be there to host it. If not, I'm going to have a great other Fringe show to host it. And it's going to be like a best of the fest. And you can find out at trevorboris.com Thursday if I'm going to be there or not. So.
Now, tell me, you seem to have quite a busy agenda. Is there anything else that we should know about that you're up to?
Well, actually, this fall, I just got offered a scholarship to do, it's the post-grad year at the Humber School of Comedy, which is the only school of comedy in the world. And people like Eugene Levy and Joe Flaherty from SCTV kind of teach it. And it's a really cool experience. You get to learn all about like script writing and sketch and all that kind of stuff. So that should be really cool.
Well, I wish you the best. Break a leg, as they say in the biz. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks.
Now it's time to hear what people on the street have to say about the plays at the Fringe. Here's some of our reviews.
Yes, die for.
I saw Jill's War. Very strong production, very powerful, a lot of emotional material going on about the war in Iraq and about Gillian Clark, who lost her life in the UN bombing. And a lot to watch, a lot of vignettes, some very, very strong performances, some very interesting dance, and a lot of different perspectives that you might not have thought about. A little slow for me in places, watching it. but still very worth seeing.
Major intersections are like bumper cars. When all else fails, people jump out of their cars with their guns and start blasting away in the air. Everybody. I mean, everybody is armed. They've got to be. One of Saddam's last official acts was to empty the prisons.
I give this play 4 out of 5 tombstones.
The play that we went to see yesterday was called Cheap Goods, an auction adventure, and it was really quite entertaining. There's 2 characters in it, and each plays about 5 different characters, and it's a story about them having an auction center, and different people coming into it, and then towards the end they actually have an actual auction with audience participation. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, now that is a wonderful idea. You are always so full of good ideas.
Yeah, well, that's me.
I hope those good ideas don't go unappreciated too often.
I do okay, thank you.
I would give this play 3 tombstones.
So, Jennifer, as you can see, the plays just keep rolling out.
Do, Barb. Well, we've heard from some of our guest reviewers, but I want to know what you have to say, Barb, because you mentioned that you were out. You tried to get to 6 plays this weekend, but you couldn't get to 6 because of those lineups. You went to 3. So what were they, and what did you think of them?
Well, I actually got a chance to see a few earlier in the week as well. I'd highly recommend PS69. This is a one-woman show, stand-up comedian from New York, who talks about her experiences as a substitute teacher, and she plays all the characters. She's absolutely hilarious. Of course, I saw One Man Star Wars, who was a guest earlier on our show, and also I saw The Hope Slide, which is a really good piece of live theater that really will touch your heart and make you think as well.
So you are seeing the good ones. You're giving us 3 positive reviews there.
Well, you see, the thing is that I get to talk to a lot of these performers beforehand, so I get to make lots of notes before I go out, so I get to cheat a little bit, actually.
And that's not cheating, that is just smart, Barb. That really, really is. That's great. Well, hopefully next year, as I was telling you on Friday, as you well know, I've got a little one at home, so no fringing for me this year, but I'm really hoping next year that I'll be able to get back out there and fringe. So I do need to ask, what is coming up tomorrow?
Well, I'll give you a hint. What wears black and walks without making a sound and can do a better death scene than any fringe performer here.
You have got me, Barb.
Well, it's a fringe technician, of course. Doesn't that make sense?
It does.
We're going to see what the techs get up to when it gets dark outside.
That could get scary.
Oh, definitely. It fits the theme.
All right. Well, we cannot wait. Thank you so much.
Talk to you later, Jen.
That is...
Place to die for.
We saw Chris Gibbs from the Neck Up, and as usual, it was absolutely marvelous. He just gets better year after year.
And I saw Finding a Chord. It's a really great story for anyone who has a sister, really.
I just came out of Piff, and it's a drama with a bit of a comedy slant on it, and it was really, really good. It was very well done, very professional.
Well, yes.
We'll let you know how you can catch the shows that everyone is talking about. That's next.
You may feel like a zombie at the end of the day.
Don't let the skin color fool you.
Look past the shape of my eyes.
The black of my hair, because I'm as white as they come.
Two Browns Don't Make a White is just one of the shows considered the best at the fest. This play talks about a Filipino-Canadian experience and is also a finalist for the Best New Manitoba Play Award at the 2004 Fringe.
My home
and native land.
There's actually a lot of people who can identify with the way these two people are. Just being born in a different country and not knowing your roots because you were never really exposed to it. And especially if your parents don't expose you to it, you become very North Americanized. And not many kids really know where they came from.
All the Best of the Fest shows run on Sunday. To get a schedule of shows and show times, visit winnipegfringe.com. Some shows are so popular their first time around at the Fringe that they keep coming back.
I just want to make you feel better any way I can. So if you
The 2000 Best of the Fest winner year of the play Year of the Panda clawed its way back into the Fringe this year. And the lovable Spikey is also back for his 5th and final adventure, Happily Ever After, the final Spikey. You can still catch both shows tomorrow.
Of course, there's another one going on right now in Winnipeg. And for the latest in Fringe news, we join Barbara Brunzell at Old Market Square. Barb.
Well, this makeshift community of theater goers wouldn't exist without the hard work and dedication of dozens of technicians. Join me later on Canada Now when we go behind the curtain at the Winnipeg Fringe Festival.
Looking forward to it. Thank you. With the Fringe, you've just seen Barb Brunzell. She's got another behind-the-scenes story for us tonight.
This song has been a harbor since kindergarten. Remember us,
The Night of the Living Fringe would be operating in the dark if it wasn't for the expertise of some technically minded zombies. Now, more than 3 dozen technicians keep the annual theater festival running smoothly. Our arts reporter, Barbara Brunzell, has managed to capture one of them between shows, and once again, she joins us from Old Market Square. Hello, Barb.
Hello, Jen. Now, before I introduce you to my guest, I'd like to show you what the life of a Fringe technician is really like. There's about 7 shows per venue per day in each venue. So that means at the end of a run, 12-day run, you're talking about 84 shows that one person has to take care of. It's hard work. It's everything from schlepping props to lights to camera. They work hard. It's a dirty job. Just take a look.
Welcome to the glamorous world of theater.
Adapters, adapters, adapters.
Venue 4 to Site Tech. Come in, Site Tech, over.
Let's throw them in a job some days.
And we are up and running.
And with me right now is one of those hardworking little elves, Wayne Butts. Now, he has been a part of this Fringe Festival for 17 years. He's done everything from acting, directing, making sure that the actors and the air conditioning run smoothly. Welcome.
Hi, Barb.
So tell me, how would you characterize your life as a Fringe technician?
It's a lot of fun, and what makes it a lot of fun is it's never the same job 2 days in a row. Anything can happen. It's live theater, so you get a lot of unexpected things.
Now, I know that technicians, actually, they're the problem solvers in the group. What would you say your biggest challenge over the last 17 years has been?
Well, the biggest challenge was probably in the early part of the Fringe Festival. We had a lot of venues that had no air conditioning in it. And on a day like today, that can get pretty hot. So what we used to do in our venue was we'd put these big industrial rental fans in the windows, but they were so noisy that you couldn't hear a person if they were standing beside you and you were talking to them. So what we'd have to do is we'd have the show in the venue, and then right after the show, we'd run over to the fans, we'd turn them on, we leave them on, set up the next show, and then just before that next show starts, run over, turn off the fans, and then start the show again, and do the process over and over and over all day.
Well, there's no doubt that you work hard, but I hear that you play just as hard. Tell me what you get up to after the curtain goes down.
Well, after midnight, we play a technician shoot-'em-up assassination game. And with that, what happens is everyone gets an envelope, and in the envelope is a person's name, and that's their target for the evening. So you go out after midnight, and you find that person, and with your Nerf dart gun, you shoot them. You call out their name, and you shoot them, and then when you get shot, you die a spectacular death. So at the King's Head Bar, where a lot of this happens, people are dying all over the place, all through the bar.
Now, I've heard that you've had to tame some enthusiastic players. What did you have to do?
Well, we had to set up a few out of bounds. We can't shoot people in the venues. We can't shoot people at MTC, the hospitality. We can't shoot people in the beer tent, because that's just too easy. And we also set up a rule, can't shoot people at home, because we had reports of some people actually going to people's houses and going, knock, 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 hello, bang, you're dead, thanks for playing.
Now, I know that you get extra points for a spectacular spectacular death scene. So what's your most spectacular death scene?
Oh, I've thrown myself over chairs, over tables, over a pool table, down a flight of stairs at least once a year. Just the other night, I was in front of the King's Head Hotel and I was shot right on the street. So I was going through my sputtering and dying all over the place when I noticed there was a cab there. So I just kind of opened the back door of the cab, flopped myself in, tossed my legs out the window and died right there. And it was probably the most comfortable death I've had ever since we started playing the game.
Well, who says that work can't be fun? Thank you so much for letting us into your secret society today.
You're welcome, Barb. Thanks for having me.
And now it's time to find out what plays killed and what ones didn't. Here are reviews from the street.
Place to die for.
Well, I saw PS 69 last week. I thought the actress was absolutely fabulous. She portrayed about 6 different roles. She was a small child, a policeman, a school teacher, an older school teacher, a substitute teacher, and with every role she was totally believable. And so, you know, I just thought it was a wonderful show. I don't like star ratings, but I'd say she's just top class as an actress.
I'll tell you something. If I was that kid's teacher, I'd teach her a thing or two. I don't care if she's 9 years old. She's conniving and a liar. Right, Miss Tirinelli?
This child has been a horror since kindergarten. Remember Estelle when she pushed over the fish tank? There was water everywhere. The poor fish were flapping on the floor. It was terrible. The place smelled like mildew for months.
I give this play 5 tombstones.
Just came out of Carrie's Nation, first play of the season for me. It was very pleasant, good storyline, story about prohibition.
There will be no hugging or hand-holding, no sitting side by side on the sofa, no kissing on the sofa, no buggy rides or hay rides that may lead to kissing or other intimacies. Oh, you shall not seduce me. God is always watching. So if I were you, I'd best empty my mind of all those nasty thoughts, lest he smite you down before I've even had a chance to pour the tea.
I give this play 3 tombstones.
Well, Barb, I can't believe the behind-the-scenes stories you have dug up for us while we've been watching your film, your Fringe Festival coverage. What inside information do you have for us tomorrow? I can't wait.
Well, before I go out and play my own little game of shoot 'em up with, I'm ready to go. Tomorrow, actually, you know, it's no secret. Actors, it can be a financially challenging job. So tomorrow, we're going to find out what other things the actors do to pay the rent.
Oh, that sounds great. I don't know where you find some of this stuff, but I can't wait until tomorrow. Thanks so much, Barb.
You're welcome.
That is
actors, but 3 lads from Hollywood still managed to sell out at fringes around the world. Now the Sound and Fury Fakesperian players are in our city to give Night of the Living Fringe a go.
My lords and ladies, we are Sound and Fury.
They performed Testicles and Ye Sack of Rome more than 1,000 times in the past 5 years. Now these thespians say they're excited to give Winnipeg audiences a chance to see the comedy.
It's the 2nd largest in North America.
Sexiest and fringe there is.
Why, look at the local flora and fauna.
Actually, the Canadian Fringe have a great reputation. The Fringes aren't as big in America, and a lot of people do the entire Canadian circuit, and we've always been a little jealous that we've only gotten to do Edmonton.
You can catch Testicles and Ye Sack of Rome throughout the Night of the Living Fringe at venue number 1. Time now.
Fringer. I felt that it was inaccessible to audiences who haven't seen the movie, and because they were expecting people to know the movies, it could have gone a lot more into the parody, which was the strongest part of the show, and he didn't go there. He just gave the movie verbatim, so I was a little underwhelmed.
It was just absolutely crazy. The acting was really, really good, and it was just a lot of fun. I was laughing out loud. I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
It wasn't so much that I didn't like it, I just didn't understand it. It was very interpretive. It was an amazing show. The actor, who's from New Zealand, is incredibly good looking. He's also very dynamic, and he interacts with the audience. And I recommend it for anybody who likes to laugh and who likes to participate in the shows that they see.
Now, as always, a little later. But up next, it is back to the Fringe, where Barbara Brunzell has some great disasters to share.
I'm on the Fringe, young man.
On the Fringe, Hank.
We'll tour the show in your van.
It is seconds to curtain time. The lead actor is missing, the props have been stolen, and the air conditioning has just blown the main power breaker. There are many horror stories at the night of the Living Fringe that don't involve vampires or zombies. Our arts reporter Barbara Brunzell joins us now from Old Market Square with Fringe nightmares that she promises will curl our hair. Barb.
Jennifer, just imagine trying to put on a show with no time, no money, and sometimes no audience. These are just a few of the challenges that face the actors at the Fringe Festival. Now, just like an officer earns his or her stripes, an actor who goes through the Fringe circuit also deserves a badge of honor. This year, there are 2 plays that look at the unique experience that is the Fringe, and this song from one of them is a perfect explanation. Just take a look.
Winter is over, spring's already sprung. I live in my van, I feel like a bum. Disillusioned with love, my heart has run dry. Eeky, 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 who's that guy?
Hey kid, what you doing? All by yourself, I got an offer on which your future will hinge.
Oh, I know, mister, you want me to join the circus.
Not the circus, man, we're gonna fringe.
Tell me more.
Where there's lesbian pirates, chickpea curry, ice cream jugglers and pie.
I love pie.
Puppets and dancers, drummers and drag queens, and even a push-up guy.
Push-up guy?
Well, I'll take you where the sun never sets. You're gonna have an adventure you'll never forget. So come on the Fringe, young man.
On the Fringe, hey?
We'll tour the show in your van.
Well, that's the problem.
Now, I'm joined now by a couple of actors who were brave enough to come forward with their Fringe horror stories. Now, Ryan Gladstone is just part of that dynamic duo you just saw. He hails from Toronto, and he was part of Fringe show The Love Story, and also a local thespian. Ross McMillan is here from the worst Fringe play in the world. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get right to the good stuff. Maybe, Ross, we'll start with you. What's your worst Fringe horror story?
Well, I'll give you a couple. One year, I was playing a character who was supposed to be pretty menacing, and at the top of the show, I ripped my pants right up the back. So I basically try to be menacing with your butt hanging out. But this morning, I had my absolute worst Fringe nightmare ever. I was doing my show, the worst Fringe play in the world, and we have a guest heckler each performance. And our guest heckler today was TJ Daw, another Fringe performer who's very successful and who we poke fun at a bit in our show. And when we got to his guest heckling spot, he just wouldn't stop. He just gave me both barrels. He criticized everything about the show so succinctly and so accurately that I felt like I'd been spanked by my daddy.
Oh no! Well, wait, we got to find out what yours is. What about you?
I think for us, the first year Monster Theater was touring, we were doing a kid show, a street kid show right here on this stage called Fairy Tale, the Choose Your Own Adventure play. And on the road, we were touring in a VW van, and on the road between Winnipeg and Saskatoon, all of a sudden we heard a flapping on one of the windows, and we kind of stopped and looked up, and our whole set was gone, including a giant foam sea monster, a giant dragonfly costume, and like a 6-foot giant blue foam head. So it was all gone, everything from our show.
Ryan, if there's so many horror stories, tell me, why do you do it?
We're hoping to find the blue head again. No, a couple things. One is, it's the cheapest way to produce theater in the country by far. In Toronto, it costs $2,500 to rent a week in a theater, whereas here you can do pretty much a whole Fringe tour for about the same amount of money.
Well, let's be honest here. It's not always the actors who have the bad experiences. Sometimes it's the audience, too. And your show pays homage to all the bad shows. Tell me, why are you doing that?
Well, because I've always loved bad shows. I seek them out. I'm actually a member of a very secret society called the Brotherhood of the Damned. There are 3 of us. Every Winnipeg Fringe, we seek out the worst play at the Fringe. And we actually have a secret awards ceremony that's completely private. Nobody else ever knows about it.
I guess it's just kind of like watching a car wreck.
It is.
Yeah,
well,
it is.
Well,
so much fun.
I thank you both for joining me today. Hopefully people will have a better appreciation for the good, the bad, and the ugly at the Fringe. Now it's time to take a look at what you think about the Fringe plays this year. Here are our Fringe reviews.
Place to die for.
I saw Curse of the Trickster, which is TJ Daw here in at the Winnipeg Fringe, and I thought it was a great show. If you're into any type of things like stand-up comedy, the guy's a great storyteller.
Have you ever dated someone who pronounces a certain word differently than you do? And at first it's kind of cute, maybe a bit sexy, then it's nothing, then it's a little odd, then it's a little irritating, then it starts driving you crazy, but you can't do anything. You can't say, honey, could you please stop saying that word the way you've said it your entire life and start saying it the way I prefer? What kind of a Nazi would say that? So what can you do? Hope it goes away.
I would give this show 4.5 tombstones, definitely.
The play I saw was Cactus, and it was one of my favorite shows that I've seen here at the Winnipeg Fringe because it really plays with the idea of the role of the audience within a show, and he really makes the audience a part of the show.
Mommy, Mom, look, I've got something in my eye, Mom. Look, that's there, Mom. Ah!
I would give Cactus 4.5 tombstones.
More good ratings, more suggestions about what to see. So what inside information do you have for us tomorrow, Barb?
Well, actually, the end of the Fringe Festival is almost upon us, so we'll have some reviews for you tomorrow so to help you navigate through the weekend. But actually, I'll be on the other side of the city tomorrow at the opening of the Canadian-Philippine Centre. Now, this center has been almost 3 decades in the making, and tomorrow we'll be live as they get ready to open the doors to the public.
Oh, as always, can't wait. Thank you so much. That is the CBC's Barbara Brunzell reporting from the Winnipeg Fringe for the last time this year. Stay with us.
2 months since the American occupation.
Cheryl Salute commands the audience's attention with her performance in Jill's War.
When all else fails, people jump out of their cars with their guns and start blasting away in the air.
The show is based on the true story of Gillian Clark, a Canadian international aid worker killed in the bombing of the UN headquarters in Baghdad. Jill's War looks at how the attack affected soldiers and civilians.
Hoping that Jill's voice is heard and that people get to hear everyone's story.
Susan Jeremy is another actress who chose to go solo. On PS 69, the audience watches as she transforms herself into 24 characters, ranging from a bratty student to the entire staff of a Brooklyn public school.
You're not going anywhere, dear. You have to pick up your class from lunch.
I keep them interested through physicalities, and it's really fun for them to figure out who I'm doing.
Like Jill's War, PS 69 was also inspired by real life. Jeremy was a substitute teacher in Brooklyn and worked with many of her crazy characters.
There's no paper towels in here. Go over to the kindergarten and get a baby wipe.
The show has cleaned up at other Fringe festivals, including Best of Fringe in Montreal. But Jeremy says no Fringer is going to love this show as much as she does.
I get so used to having so many people on stage with me, even though it's just me, that when I don't do the show, I miss all the people.
Adrian Silver, A-Channel Wire.
Well, there's certainly no shortage. The Little Opera Company was founded to help popularize the musical art form and to make it accessible to all Winnipeggers. To help do that, the company is bringing Trouble in Tahiti by Leonard Bernstein to the Fringe.
People will, be able to come and experience something like opera without paying $65. That's the other thing, it only runs 45 minutes, so it's not 2.5 hours of tragedy. It's quite fun, it's enjoyable, wonderful singers.
Trouble in Tahiti can be seen at venue number 6. For a schedule of times, visit littleopera.ca. Well,
this is Grandma killing off Kim and Margaret.
Craft Space Gallery has never looked like this before. It's still housing the work of some of the best artisans in our province. But the gallery's now got a freaky theme. Craft Beyond the Fringe is a non-juried exhibition being put on by the Manitoba Craft Council. The goal, to get fringers to realize that there is more than just theater acts to keep them entertained.
We really wanted to do something fun for the Fringe and help to have people who are here specifically to see the plays and go to the Fringe to come into our gallery and see what we have to offer.
Craft Beyond the Fringe will run at the Craft Space Gallery until July 30th. Now,
theater enthusiasts are celebrating a record-breaking year for the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. There's nothing scary about the attendance numbers for this year's event, where the theme was the Night of the Living Fringe. More than 68,000 people took in the festival. That's up about 1,500 people over last year. Theater lovers could pick from 130 different acts. It was the 17th year for Winnipeg's Fringe Festival, and it wrapped up last night. He's performed with J-Lo and Ashante, but
What kind of nuns are you guys anyway?
Bloodsuckers, the musical, is one of this year's Best of the Fest winners. The comedy about what happens when some American suits try to build a theme park in Transylvania attracted 478 Fringers. Bloodsuckers is the first Fringe show ever for Kiss the Giraffe Productions, but already the local theater group has made a name for themselves at the Winnipeg Fringe.
It was so exciting when we got the announcement for Best of the Fest, because we knew right from our first read-through that this show had so much appeal, and we laughed. We've been laughing at rehearsals for 2.5 months, and we were so happy to be able to share that one more time with the audience.
All Best of the Fest plays are chosen by the amount of tickets sold. There were 11 winners this year. Meanwhile,
Fringe officials say attendance was great this year and expect to meet or break their record. They're crediting cooperative weather, smooth operations, and quality shows for their success.
People are getting more and more accustomed to putting on shows that can work for the Fringe, and they're finding different tactics to produce a great show.
A Channel will keep you alive with all the inside scoop to the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. Tune into The Big Breakfast and Wire July 14th to the 25th and get connected. A Channel, your exclusive Fringe insider.
Dead are done and gone, and the organizers of the Night of the Living Fringe couldn't be happier.
Donkey, donkey, look at my donkey, look at my donkey, look at my donkey.
This year was the most successful Fringe festival ever. More than 68,000 people enjoyed the shows, and that brought in close to $500,000 at the box office. The Kids Fringe was also a big success, with over 20,000 people attending. And the award for the Best New Manitoba Play at the Winnipeg Fringe went to The Three-Ring Circus, written by local playwright Daniel Tao Elf. The next festival on the Fringe Circuit
Satisfied their craving for great theater at this year's Night of the Living Fringe.
You can mock and bleat and caw and hiss.
The annual event, which wrapped up yesterday, was another success. Paid attendance at the Winnipeg Fringe Theater Festival totaled more than 68,000. That sets a 7th consecutive attendance record. Attendance was also up at the Kids Fringe Festival. Of course, Night of the Living Fringe couldn't be possible without the festival's 790 volunteers, and what a great job they did.
Global News. She's a busy lady performing at the Fringe and on a Hollywood soundstage. A look at actress Jo Gorang right after the break. What's expected to be the most successful Fringe festival ever wraps up this weekend. And among the eclectic lineup of performers is Joy Gorang, a star of a one-woman show aptly named The Joy Show. And this is just her side gig. As Travis Danraj reports, when she's not on stage, she's on a Hollywood soundstage shooting the global TV series Good Girls Don't.
My tushy is stuck to the drain.
She's usually searching for love and sex on the global TV series Good Girls Don't, but she's taking a break from Hollywood this week.
They can't take away my dignity.
No, that was done a long time ago.
And receiving rave reviews at the Winnipeg Fringe Festival.
It's not necessarily traditional stand-up. It's there's a lot of surprises and a lot of audience interaction, I think. I guess people would say that. And brief nudity, maybe, we don't know. And not really, maybe, not really, no, maybe, I don't know.
Yay, everybody cuddle! I'm hot. Are you guys hot? I'm so hot. Are you guys hot? Oh, I'm so hot. You guys have been so great.
Winnipeg isn't the first festival that Joy has brought her unique style of comedy to. She's also performed at the Seattle Fringe, where she won the title of Audience Favorite. South of the border, she's worked with the likes of Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Luke Wilson. But she says she keeps coming north because
It's so different than the States. The theater festivals there are great, but they're not anything near as spectacular as anything in Canada. People really come out to support theater in Canada.
Her show, aptly named The Joy Show, continues to play the Attic Restaurant until Friday night. Travis Danraj, Global News, Winnipeg.
Doom North End. Theater Project Manitoba is presenting God's Country, Tales of Doom from the North End.
And in the North End, the dust gathers, you know, it sticks to your skin and it gets in.
Written and performed by Devin McCracken, this dark and gritty show first premiered at the Fringe Fest. Now it's been staged in an upstairs studio above Rag Picker's Anti-Fashion Emporium. McCracken is known locally as part of the band Ham. He's also an improv actor and a former member of the comedy troupe Crumbs. But he says this show is anything but funny.
Here, man, they can smell it on you. It all comes from the same place, you know. Comedy comes from dark places too, and but this is just, you know, this is sort of based on some of my experiences, and I sort of looked at it as a kind of like a cleansing, kind of just, you know, getting all my uglinesses out, you know. So it was really therapeutic.
God's Country Tales of Doom from the North End will run Friday and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. For more information, call 989-2400.